Well, welcome to ThriveGroups. We're so glad to have you with us this week as we continue our discussion on our series, Take a Hike. This week, we're talking about firewalking, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and how they spent some time in the fire. And when they were walking in the fire, Jesus showed up and walked with them. Before we get into that, though, we're going to go over our ground rules. First, we want to encourage everyone to participate, no one to dominate. Also, we want to start on time and we want to end on time. So, that being said, we're going to jump right into our opening question, which is this: what's the hottest place you've ever been? For me, it was Death Valley. I was there with my dad and some friends. We were in Nevada for some training, and we realized that Death Valley wasn't that far away. So we figured we'd go out there and explore a little bit. It was the evening, which would have been the cooler part of the day, I suppose, but it was 112 degrees, and it was just so hot out there. We were drinking so much water, never been in a place that hot before. But how about you? What's the hottest place you've ever been? Okay, we're going to read some verses. These are from James chapter 1, verse 2 to 3, and we're going to talk about what stood out to us in those verses. So here we go. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let's take a few minutes and talk about maybe something that stood out to you in that verse. Next question. Have you ever had to stand for something? Maybe it's something that you believe in, maybe something with your faith, maybe some morals, standards, something like that. For me, I know one time I had my t-shirt company and I was printing custom t-shirts for local businesses and things like that. And a company wanted me to print something that I just did not feel in my conscience would have been something that would have pleased the Lord. And so I felt very uncomfortable about it. I thought about it, prayed about it for a few days, and I ended up turning the job down. I was kind of embarrassed to do so, but I was like, I got to take a stand. I got to tell them that I don't feel comfortable printing it. And they weren't very happy about it. But at the end of the day, I felt better because I made the right choice. But what about you? Has there ever been a time that you've had to stand up for something? Next question is this: share about a time when you felt God in the middle of a trial, in the middle of a trial. So for me, I would say one of the things was when we realized our New Britain campus, we had to relocate it. And so we were coming to the end of our ability to stay in our location, and we didn't have any options really. We were looking at places, and nothing was opening up. And I felt like God was in the middle of it. And I was like, you know what, God, I'm willing to do whatever you want. If you want us to close it down, if you want us to keep it open, whatever you want is in your hands. And I felt his presence. Long story short, he opened up another location, another opportunity for us. And we walked through that. But during the time, as kind of frustrating as it was, I just felt that he was in the middle of it and wasn't too worried about it because we knew that he was in control. But what about you? Have you ever had a time where you felt like God was with you in the middle of a situation that you were in? Final question is this: how can you walk with God in the fire this week? Maybe you're going through a fire, a difficulty, a trial, an illness, a struggle of some sort. What are some ways that you can walk with God through that fire, through that difficulty this week? Well, thank you so much for joining us this week for our Thrive group. We're so glad that you came. And we want to close with prayer. Before we do that, though, I'd like to give you guys the option just to kind of like throw out things that maybe you need some prayer for in your own life. And then as a group, we'll pray for those things. So I'd encourage you to do that. And then you can start by praying. Everyone can have a chance to pray if you'd like to. Just say a few words. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just say a few words, thanking God, praying for a need in the group, asking Him for direction, whatever it may be. When you're done, you can say amen. Next person will go, and then the group leader will close it up. So thank you so much for joining us this week. Let's close in prayer.